Hi again. I decided to record this video in answer to questions that I get asked. Usually students call me, they write to me and they say, well, I'm not easy with languages. I can't learn English. English is so hard. It's not for me. There's something that usually we always start with. It's a lie, total lie, because everybody can learn a language. Imagine an English child, and they say, well, I can't learn the language, and they don't speak English while being born in England or the UK or in the USA. That's totally impossible. Everybody can learn the language. The question is, what are you willing to do in order to achieve that? Learning is not easy. And when they tell you you can learn it in 1 month, you can learn it in 1 week, my tip to you, don't trust them. You need to really invest your time and efforts to really learn a language. Yes, you can manage to use a few words and phrases here and there, but that's not really knowing, and that doesn't give you the confidence. So, usually, when teachers tell students what to do and how to study, what is the biggest problem? Most of them don't. Why? Because they have learned it at school to cheat and try to find shortcuts. But guys, after all these 35 years of teaching, I know very well when they're trying to find the shortcuts and try to cheat. And the result is always, always the same. They never achieve what they really wanted to. So when you go to a teacher and you pay to be taught, it's a lot clever, well, let's say cleverer and wiser and more economical just to do what they tell you, because the teacher has done that. He has been there. And you can always try to cheat, but then don't blame it on the teacher or don't blame it on anything else. It is just your ways trying to cheat, and it doesn't work. So it's like cooking something. You got the recipe, but then you say, well, I'm not going to boil it for 12 minutes. I'm going to boil it for 20. This is the way I want to do things. I want to be very thorough and really do the way I have to. Or they say, just add 1 teaspoon. You say, that's too little. I will add 1 tablespoon. What do you get in the end? Well, it would be a miracle if you get something that is really good for food. Many people today admire the Italians and Italian cooking, Italian restaurants, Italian recipes, and everything. But they don't invent new things like all these chefs that always have to invent something new. Well, they have a huge background, they know a lot of things, and then they combine and try. But what do Italians do? There's nonna. This is the grandmother, and she knows recipes from her grandmother. And she teaches her daughter, and then she teaches her granddaughter. And they follow the recipe because they need to make it many, many times to make it perfect. And they know that. And while I'm in Italy and I watch Italian nonnas cooking, nobody's nervous and trying to improve the recipe. They just follow it and they get the same wonderful result. Well, we're trying to cheat. I'm not going to put prosciutto. I'm going to put the kind of meat I had in the fridge. I'm not going to put rucola. I'm going to put lettuce. And then you get something, please don't call it Italian. So it's the same thing with learning. You are given the recipe. But guys, when I tell my students, and I do a lot to prepare lessons for every day, can you guess how many do the lessons every day? 2, 3%. This is 2 or 3 people out of 100, because all the others are cleverer, they're smarter, they know how to cheat the system. Well, the only one you're cheating, it's yourself, because you have been trying many times to learn and you fail miserably every time. Why don't you just follow what teachers suggest to you? Yeah, well, you should choose the teacher, and that's why you should do your research in advance. In order to learn a language, you need a lot of input. You need a lot of listening. You need a lot of videos. You need a lot of dialogues. You need to listen and listen and listen and watch and read. And then at some point, you start feeling more and more confident, because the more you put in, the easier it will be to take out. What happens when you don't do it regularly? You slow down the process, because you remember something today, you learn something today, and 2, 3 days later, it's 90% gone. And if you don't have this discipline to continue every day and practice, let's say 20 minutes a day, let's say 15 minutes a day, no more than that, because I know you're busy. But if you develop this habit, if you develop this discipline, you're going to see incredible results. It's good both for fluency and accuracy. You need the rhythm. Your mind starts working differently when you do it daily. And do you want the statistics? Out of all those 50 people who registered for the free online course, the first day we had about 30, a little over 30 who joined. All the others, they had something else, they forgot, they had other priorities, and especially when it's free, well, forget it. Out of these 30 something people, do you know how many did the daily exercises? 4 or 5. Do you know how many of them submitted the assignments? They had 3 assignments for the whole week. Only one person did the 3. So these are numbers that you cannot beat. But if you want to be a person with different results, well, why don't you just follow along? If you really start developing these habits, you will be amazed at your progress. That's what I have seen with my students for over 35 years. Those who really apply some effort to study regularly, they improve hugely. But they're just a few. All the others, they just rely, oh, when we meet, oh, I forgot, let's try to forget about the phone, but I have so many things on my mind. And their progress is there, but it's slow, and it's very hard for them to build confidence because they don't have the regularity. So that's why I'm creating this course, LearnAbility, that is going to help with that. But I cannot do it for you. If you're a person who says, well, let me try and see, let me give you my tip. If you're going to try the whole thing. Just discipline yourself and do the few exercises daily. And then 1 month later, you will call me to thank me, because you will see huge improvement. Come join the course and really see that English is not hard at all. You can manage, but first you need to manage yourself. Are you willing to? Come on, hop on and let's do it together.